Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Mike Check Hook. I got a very, very special guest joining me today. He is 8-1 with 7 KOs, super middleweight, Eric Drago Moon. What's going on, baby?
What's going on?
I can't call it, man. I know you got a fight coming up on December 8th down in the Buckhead Fight Club in Atlanta, right?
Oh man, am I ready? Ready to ever. Yes. Next week. Count down the days.
So let me go into a fighter's mind the week before a fight. What all are you thinking about? What are you worried about, and what are you preparing for?
I place myself in different scenarios in the ring. What if I get hurt? What if I end up knocking him down? What if we get into a brawl? What if he's a high IQ fighter? You know, it's just different scenarios I place myself in, and I just visualize myself winning all and foremost. And once I do that, when I get in the ring, it's like home. But I know that I have to isolate myself from people, social media, and just really prepare myself mentally more so than physically because the physical part has already been done. I've been training for 6 to 8 weeks now, and I feel great. I feel strong.
Okay,
So
okay. So are you are you close to weight, or are you on weight? Wait, how much weight does a fighter necessarily have to lose, like the day before, the day, you know what I'm saying, before a fight?
well, me personally, my team, how we train, they want me to be on weight the week of the fight. So next week I'll be on weight. Right now I'm 8 pounds over, but that's nothing. That's healthy weight. By the time Monday rolls around next week, I'll be on weight, walking around 168, maybe maybe even 167. But I'll definitely be underweight when it comes time to step on the scale.
Okay, okay,
You know?
that's good. I mean, most fighters say they gotta lose 5, 10 pounds before like the day before and stuff. So that's good.
Yeah.
You staying healthy and you staying on weight. Do you have like a nutritionist or something like that that helps you out with that kind of stuff?
I mean, well, my coach is Zaire Rahim, so he's a former WBC world champion. So anything that I think I know, or if I have an ego trip, he stops me in my steps and just let me know which way I need to do it and how it needs to be done. So with all else said, it's all about discipline. It's everything pertains to discipline. It's all about how bad you want it. So when he tells me the necessary, like wake up in the morning, sleep is always a plus. You're always supposed to get your sleep because it's like the most important thing. We get our rest, wake up, eat our oatmeal, we go swim over 1,000 yards. We come back, it's fish, steamed veggies. Then I might go run later on that night, or we may go in the boxing gym. It just depends on what he needs from me as the fighter, and what he requires as the teacher.
How big is it, or how much of an asset is it having a former WBC champion in your corner like that?
um, every day, even before we start training, I have to mentally prepare myself. I have to show him that I want it because I feel like a world champion's mind is off. Their mind is not on Earth. It's in a different universe. Like they're in their it's a different universe. Nothing comes easy, and I have to show him that day in and day out. And it's awesome, man. I learned so much from him because it's the little things that count, not the big things. You got these fighters that just want to just jump in there and just go for the gusto, but it's more than that. You have to really sit down and have a keen eye for certain things, and you have to polish your fighter and show them that you can actually detail them. Some fighters are harder to instruct than others, you know. So it's all about your passion. If you have a passion for it, then everything will come easy.
Now,
If that makes sense.
I do have to ask you. You are 81. What did you learn from your your first loss, and how big of a motivator was it for you?
It was an eye opener because I had an ego trip. You know,
Okay.
I should have I felt like I can just run through any weight class. You know, when you winning like that and you knocking out guys that you're not supposed to be fighting at that time early on in your career, you kind of do have an ego trip. So it brought me back to my senses and it humbled me, but it also made me hungrier and smarter as a fighter. So when I took that L, what happened was I ended up being severely dehydrated. You know, you just like how you said, fighters cutting 5 to 10 pounds the day before weigh-ins is not good because when you do that, you're losing fluid around your brain. I think it's called the
Mhm.
hemoglobin.
I'm
And
glad
what
you know
happened?
that, brother. I'm glad you realized that. People don't realize some of that fluid come from right around here too, man, and you can't get that all back in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Nope,
Sorry for cutting you off,
nope.
though.
It take nope. You're right. You're right. I agree. I agree. And what happened was, I had an ego trip. I wasn't taking it as serious. I was winning so much to where I just felt like I didn't have to really bust my behind, bust my tail training and listening to my coaches. So, that backfired on me. Then when it came time to fight, it wasn't a skill thing. He didn't beat me on skills. I beat myself. Like they tell each and every other fighter that has the potential to be a world champion. Only person that can beat you is yourself. So what happened was I beat myself that night, and I know it because I already had a defeated mindset, and that dog just wouldn't come out. When I got in the ring, it just wouldn't come out. It was like almost being there for a check, and that's what I was there for. But I didn't take it serious. I wasn't eating right. I didn't cut the weight. I wasn't staying on weight. I wasn't running. I wasn't sticking to my routine. And me as a fighter, I wasn't being true to boxing. And she told on me. It told on me. And I I didn't take a loss. I feel like it was a learning experience. And I feel like if the chance ever comes again for me to fight that guy that I lost to, he's gonna have a special surprise. It's gonna be a special whooping for him. A
Like they
special
always
one.
say, a loss ain't a loss. It's a lesson. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
real quick, man, you do got power. You know what I'm saying? You be you be putting these guys. How hard is it not to fall in love with your power and just keep that skill mindset, keep that like, hey, I want to stay in the work behind the jab. I don't always want to throw it that lead right hand or that straight right hand.
hmm Um, you have to stay. You have to control. You have to control your. It's just like when you see it. Sometimes you don't want to be too cocky and just go in there and go for the gusto. You have to. It's like a scientist. You have to scientifically like break them down. And if the knockout comes, it comes. But when you have power like that, sometimes you can get careless and start opening up, and you get hit with shots that you necessarily shouldn't be getting hit with at all. That's where a great coach comes into play. At a coach can see that before you even do it. So that's where they tell the fighter calm down, and just stick to the game plan.
Now you're originally from Mobile, Alabama, right?
Right.
How was life growing up in Mobile?
Mobile was rough. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I was one of those kids that grew up having a hard time. I mean, I've had my rough patches in life, and that made me who I am today. And I think also as a fighter as well, because it taught me how to overcome adversity. But for the most part, Mobile Mobile was good. I had my mother and I had my father. They were there in my life to teach me and guide me, and I had friends and family that steered me on the right path. But it wasn't just them; it was what they. So for the most part, I can say life was pretty good. I just learned from all the rough patches. But I was so prone to getting into fights coming up as a kid. And then one day I just figured, I said, you know what, I want to box. Now that I think I want to box, I was like, I want to box. And I just went to a gym and I got my butt tore up by a pro the first time. The first time, and that's what ignited my work ethic. I think it's my work ethic. It's my work ethic which helps me out display my skill and do some amazing things. Sometimes I don't even realize I've done until it's happened. So it's an awesome experience. It's an
I'm
awesome
telling you, man, you
experience.
gotta let these cats know you just can't come off the street think you about to hop in the ring with a pro.
Definitely, definitely. It's a lot of skill, will, and sacrifice.
I don't care if that
And
nigga old as
some
40.
people.
He could be old as 40. You not hopping in the ring with that man. But hey, I want to get to some
Exactly.
real shit though. I want to get to some real shit now. You're fighting down in Atlanta. All right.
Right.
Atlanta, man. I mean, how many fights have you had down there?
Pro
Mm-hmm.
3. I've had 3 professional fights in Atlanta.
How hard is it to keep the focus, man? Atlanta got a lot of shit going on. Got a lot of nice looking young ladies and older ladies down there now. How hard is
Well,
it to keep the focus?
you have to isolate yourself, man. That's where when people say sacrifice, that's where sacrifice comes into play. You have to give up the things that you love the most in order to get to where you want to go. So I isolate myself, and it's hard, but I wean myself off of social media. I wean myself away from being around my family and friends, and and just try to stay on positive terms, just positive vibes. Because when you like that and you have a clear mind and a clear conscience, you can do anything. You can do anything. And a fight is easy work. It's easy
But
work. So it's all about sacrifice.
at the same time, I mean, you got to network. You got to get these people knowing about you. You got to let these people know that hey, I'm fighting. And sometimes, hey, a club might want to throw you back for a parent.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, you got to go in there focused. You got to already be focused with whatever it is you're doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I am human and I will have fun, but I know my limit. I can put it like that. I know my limit. Not everybody knows their limit. So I learned that from my loss. So I know my limit as a human being, as an individual.
All right, I want to kind of change gears right quick and get your opinion on some fights that's coming up and some fights that's probably coming up uh, in a couple months. This weekend we
Yeah.
got Wilder versus Fury.
Whew. Boy, he from Bama, hometown. I seen Wilder spar in person when he like before he actually took off
Mm-hmm.
as the heavyweight, the heavyweight champ. Um, he's a beast, and I I don't see the Gypsy King beating Deontay Wilder. I just don't. And Deontay Wilder is a person that manifests. He believes in what he speaks, and the mind is a powerful thing because boxing is, after all, what 90% mental, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna have to rock with Deontay Wilder on this one,
So
and you
so
can't sleep on
even
that one too.
even even before he took off, even before he had all that buzz, he still had that same power.
Hmm.
Damn. Well,
Yeah, I seen him. Yeah, I seen him put down some guys to where it seemed like he probably fractured their face. I've seen him in the gym. I've seen him. I remember before I even started boxing, when I was there and I got a chance to see him spar. I was a little heavy. I was like 190. He said, "You spar?" He said, "You working?" So I looked at me. I said, "Hell no." Nah. I'm just being honest because the power that he displayed, an event is always different from watching it in person versus on TV. You don't capture everything. The TV's not going to really show you everything like you would see it in person.
he
Those
said,
sounds,
he said, "Nah, I'm off today. I can't."
nah, I said, I'm good. I
I
said,
can,
I'm good. I'm a beginner.
hey
I was
man.
a beginner at the time.
Oh man. Alexander Usyk is moving up to heavyweight. Do you think he has the power and the skills to like compete with the? I'm not saying the like the mid level guys. I'm saying the top level guys like the Dillian White, Big Baby, Wilder, Joshua, Tyson Fury, those kind of guys.
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Usyk is, if you watch Usyk is a very well groomed amateur. and I think he's a very smart fighter. He knows how to just. But as far as him moving up to heavyweight, I think he's gonna have a problem with the power. Because after all, heavyweight is all about that big shot. It's all about power. So I really think he can dominate. I think he can dominate heavyweight. I think he can beat those top name guys. I think he'll give them a problem. I really do think so. I really do think so.
You got me a
I do.
Yeah, I might have to clip that shit, put it on goddamn YouTube. I mean, put it on IG for that 30 seconds.
You're gonna have to watch Usyk and just pay attention to how he fights.
I've seen every fight. Well, not every fight, but I've seen a majority of his fights, and I've seen him against Michael Hunter on HBO. Michael Hunter has some success. I'm of the mindset if Michael Hunter touching you, if Wilder or Joshua touch you like that, it's gonna be a problem.
That's why I go. That's what I'm saying. And Michael Hunter fought at what? Heavyweight, right?
Now Michael Hunter fought him at cruiserweight. Michael Hunter just moved up to heavyweight. He won. He beat some guy. Then he beat.
I seen that. Yeah, he got the belt. He got the belt.
Then he beat the guy this weekend.
Yeah, I seen that. Michael Hunter follows me on the ground. He's a good friend of mine. Like I said, Michael Hunter, he works hard. He's a hard worker.
He's a dog, man.
Yeah, he is. He is. And for Usyk to go in there and display that skill on him the way he did, that's what kind of got me. That's what kind of got me. But I can say this: heavyweight, if he does get touched, I can see him getting stopped. He can get knocked out. Absolutely. Because those guys are natural, bigger guys, and all it takes is one punch from top-notch guys.
Adrian Broner's back. He's supposed to be fighting Manny Pacquiao. He's been out there. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this for the hood. I got the whole hood behind me. Y'all gave a nigga a chance to make $100 million. Y'all think I ain't finna make it?
Dude, I can't be mad at him with it.
Are we buying it, or are we just like, hey, we heard it all before?
Heard it all before. Like you said, early on in the interview, like you said, what does it take leading up to that focus of the fight? It's sacrifice, from hanging around those friends, isolation. You have to really mentally prepare yourself for war. It's not no Rocky movie. To a certain extent it is, but this is not no Rocky movie. But you get the concept. So I just think Adrian Broner has too many distractions. He's a hell of a fighter, though. He got all the skills in the world to beat anybody at that weight class. Even if he moved up or went down one, he has the skill and the ability, but it's just all up here. I'm gonna have to go with Pacquiao on this one.
Okay.
I don't think because most fighters they have a keen edge is the ones that stay in the gym and stay training. Like they don't have $1 in the bank. Like Floyd Mayweather, he stay in the gym, he stay training, keep his weight. It's never hard for him to make weight, going up or down. He stays.
Floyd Mayweather right now.
He a whole nother animal. Floyd is another animal. Just like you got those different animals in the jungles that's dangerous, Floyd is one of those animals that you just don't mess with. He's one of those animals.
Damn, well, that's a damn good analogy right there, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
we got Mikey Garcia. Darren to be great, talking about going up to 147, and well, not talking about, he is fighting at 147. Is it too big of an ask, or does Mikey see something that the world don't see?
I think it has to be Mikey see something that the world doesn't see. Because like I said, you can see everything on film, but it's different watching somebody in person. You can see people's flaws in person better than just watching and studying film. Because it's always different when you get in that ring in front of that person. But man, does Mikey have a lot of heart? Yes. Is he confident? Yes.
Fuck some heart, nigga. That nigga got some nuts, nigga. What the fuck?
Yeah, he got.
You hopping in with Errol Spence, baby.
He definitely, and Errol's a big dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, I like Mikey, but I think this is gonna be his first L, and I think I think Errol gonna be held in custody after what he do to Mikey. I'm just being honest. Errol's tough, man. He's tough, And I've had my share of fighting tough fighters. You cannot knock everybody out. It's not going to happen, especially when you fight somebody that's durable, like Errol Spence, that's been fighting at that weight class, walks around down at 180 and drops to 147, a healthy 147. I just can't see him beating no Errol Spence. I can't see it.
Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence.
T-Bud is a different animal. That's either gonna go 12. That's either gonna go 12 or I think that's just gonna go 12, man. I can't see Errol beating Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna have to go with T-Bud on that one. T-Bud is a whole nother animal, and I've seen T-Bud live in person work, sparring, breaking guys down, 3 different sparring partners, 10 rounds, 4 minutes a round, breaking them down in 2 minutes. And and he's a special fighter because he can turn it on at the drop of a dime. When his coach say get him out of there, he can do that. He's that type of fighter, and not every fighter possess that. Some fighters it take when a coach say 1 round, it take them 5 or 6 or 7, maybe even 3. But at the drop of a dime, and people look at the fact that Terrence get hit a lot. It's boxing. Everybody get hit. It's about how you respond to it. And I just can't see him just destroying Terrence Crawford. T-Bud works damn hard, and he can box. He can box and he can bang. And Errol got problems with boxers. So unless that's what Mikey sees with Errol, if he plans on literally just boxing and staying the hell away from Errol for 12 rounds, it's going to Mikey. If him and Terrence Crawford fight, it's going to T-Bud. I'll rip.
Okay, I like you, man. I like. All right, before I let you go, bro, I always play a game with all my guests before I let them go. You know what I'm saying? I think boxing is kind of dull with all the interviews. I try to change it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Post different shit and keep it all the way 100. All right, you
All
ready?
right.
All right, first
I'm ready.
question: pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Damn, you first one like say pancakes. Everybody been saying waffles. I'm like, yeah, I like pancakes too. But
Yeah, pancake. I get pancakes.
bacon or sausage?
Bacon.
If I could live in one period of time in history, it would be when?
Take me back to the 90s.
Take you back to the 90s. Why you say that?
It just, I grew up in the 90s. It just seemed like everything was everything. It was cool, copacetic. Everybody was cool. It wasn't so much drama going on in the world. I feel like it was more easy going, and stuff could be handled a little bit better than what is being handled today.
Okay, okay. If I could listen to if I only could listen to 3 albums for the rest of my life, they would be.
uh, Tupac definitely.
Which one?
Uh, All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
That's one. I like the young cat, Roddy Ricch.
I've been
Roddy Ricch.
hearing folks say Roddy Ricch like the past couple of days. I'm like, I gotta look him up, man.
The streets. It's a heart. He rap and sing like from the heart, so you can feel him. Like it's deep. Roddy Ricch and I gotta have something positive, super positive. Michael Jackson. Which album?
Mm-hmm.
Which it's the one where it's the one where he got the black and white tux on, I think.
Shit, I can Off the Wall, Thriller. That's only 2 I really know.
I think it was Off the Wall. I think it was Off the Wall.
I think it was Off the Wall too.
Yeah, okay. Off the Wall.
When I was a kid, my favorite cartoon or TV show was
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Goku or Superman?
Goku.
Man, let people know why Goku would fuck Superman up.
Because Goku had like 10 different transformations. He don't care. He loved to fight. He's not doing it for justice. He just want to get stronger. And he's a Super Saiyan, man. The man has no boundaries or limits. Superman does. Kryptonite.
All right. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is
brush my teeth.
The three most important things in my life are.
God, my family, and boxing.
And boxing has changed my life. How? Okay, he got a call. He'll be back in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll keep it moving. Y'all already know how boxing changed my life. All right, here we go. Are you
Oh,
ready? Boxing has
yeah.
boxing has changed my life. How?
Kept me humble off the streets and just helped me to learn to appreciate the finer things in life.
Okay, okay. Well, get the people your social media, when and where you be fighting, and if you want to, give them who you be fighting to.
Social media, the main social media that I'm on is Instagram. It's Eric C Moon. Um, Facebook is Eric Moon, and Snapchat is Moon the Great 16. And the guy that I'm fighting, he's Brazilian. I forget his name. I think his first name is Victor. Strong, durable opponent. MMA background. 8-3. Fought some noticeable guys. Um, but I'm gonna clean them up. Come next week, I'm gonna clean them up.
What's the date and where will it be at?
December 8th at Buckhead Fight Club, located like 5 minutes away from Lenox Mall. If you're in the Atlanta area.
All right, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time, homie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Oh yeah, we definitely have to do it again. I'm trying to start this little thing called the day after, where I get fighters like that Monday after they fight and just go through their mindset and see what they about to do for their vacation and see what the first thing that they wanted to eat after they made weight and shit. Well, yeah, we'll get to it though.
All right, for sure.
All right, man. Be easy.
All right, stay blessed.